Hello, and thank you for watching this January 25th weather update, brought to you by Agrible, the makers of Morning Farm Report. My name is Eric Snodgrass, and I'm a senior atmospheric scientist and co-founder of Agrible. Well, last week's weather highlights are certainly coming from the Ohio River Valley and the Mid-Atlantic. The storm system we focused on last week certainly did its best to bury several cities in several inches of snow. This map shows just how impressive the snowfall totals were. A huge swath of the Mid-Atlantic through New York City received 2 feet of snow or more. Snow like this is crippling, and many locations will take a few days to dig out. This animation is a time-lapse of the snow accumulation. Snow like this has completely shut down airports as jets become buried in snow up to their wings, and runway lights are covered. In some places, you can't even see that there are cars underneath the snow because it is so deep. Now, my most favorite video from the weekend was this one. Here we have a brave swimmer that needs to get in some practice regardless of the fact that she can't make it to the pool. That or she lost a bet. Meanwhile, the West Coast saw its fair share of precipitation as well. This map shows the total accumulation of precipitation for last week. Some coastal locations in California, Oregon, and Washington were hammered with over 8 inches of rain, some places getting over 10. As we have been reporting, these repeated rains and mountain snows are doing their best to end the drought out west. While Washington and Oregon are improving quickly, California's drought will take several months of this to completely recover. This map shows the current basin average snow water content expressed in a percent. Notice how nearly all of the mountain reporting stations are well over 100%. As this snow melts with spring and summer, it will fill rivers and provide plenty of water for irrigation. So what are we looking at in terms of precipitation for the next week? This animation shows the winds in the jet stream on Sunday night. We are focused in on 2 big features that will control the weather through midweek. First, out west, the jet that is racing across the Pacific digs into a trough south of Alaska. This setup pushes a lot of warm air into western Canada, but also creates a series of low-pressure systems that will lash the northwest coast over the next 10 days. This means that the active weather pattern that Pacific Northwest has seen for the last 45 days is expected to continue through the end of January. The second feature is the trough in the southwestern United States. This wave in the jet stream will produce a low-pressure system that will push through the central United States and bring rain and snow to the Corn Belt. This map shows the position of that low in the central United States on Monday evening. Unlike the low-pressure system from last week, this system is pulling north much more quickly, and as a result, it is drawing warmer air farther north. The consequence of this is that rain is expected to fall across the Midwest, with snow in the northern plains as well as Minnesota, Wisconsin, and Michigan to start the week. By Tuesday evening, 1 to 4 inches of snow will spread across South Dakota, Nebraska, Iowa, Minnesota, Wisconsin, and Michigan. Now, this is nothing compared to what we saw in D.C. last week, but this snow will impact travel because of the 15 to 30 mile-an-hour winds we're expecting in the same area. The National Weather Service has issued winter weather advisories in advance of this system. Before we move on, though, take a look at the southeast. Freeze warnings are in effect for northern and central Florida, as well as southern Georgia and Alabama. In fact, this same region actually saw a very little bit of sleet and snow out of last week's big blizzard. Well, the below-average temperatures won't last too long, though. Here is a look at the warm air that this next system draws northward Monday night into Tuesday. This map shows temperature anomalies, or differences from normal, and we can see how temperatures will be about 5 to 10 degrees above average ahead of this system. The rest of January will likely finish near average to slightly above average in terms of temperatures across the United States. This map shows how this coming weekend and next week's temperatures are forecast to be warmer than average. Watch out for flooding in regions that just received all of that snow, as it will be melting and saturating soils. Now, there's one thing I want to draw your attention to in the long-range forecast. This map is valid midday on Groundhog's Day, February 2nd. For the last few days, the forecast models have hinted at the development of another big winter storm for the central United States. Now please listen carefully. This forecast is about 10 days out and a lot will change, but we need to be watching this next system closely as it could be a big player for the start of the week after next. Again, a lot of uncertainty, but there is currently a deep Arctic plunge of bitterly cold air that has plowed through China and Japan. This deep trough is expected to migrate east over the next 10 days and reinvigorate as it passes over the Rocky Mountains and become our next big winter storm. We will be watching this wave in the jet stream very closely. Lastly, let's check out on Brazil as we finish up this video. Northern growing regions in Mato Grosso have had to deal with untimely rains this growing season. Early season dryness and heat led to lower yields than expected, and then a lot of rain during harvest is reducing the quality of the beans. Right now, yields are down 5 to 7 bushel per acre over projected yields, and the next 7 days of precipitation, which is shown here, looks to be wet for this region again. This has not really impacted market prices in the U.S. much, though, due to large global supply, a strong U.S. dollar, and the fact that the rest of Brazil is actually doing quite well. Well, as always, we at Agrible bring the latest and best weather forecast information through our morning farm report so that you can efficiently plan your operations. We thank you for your attention and hope you look forward to our next weather video update. Thank you.